Paris is now the first time she's been abroad since returning home.
How have you prepared for this moment?
Me and my counselor, we talked a lot about it and, triggering things that could happen. But then also just staying focused. I'm thinking about bringing home that gold.
When Congress needs expertise on the impacts of severe weather, they call on Chief Meteorologist Jeff Baradelli. And when you watch News Channel 8, you'll know why. For an accurate forecast that'll keep you safe, trust Jeff Baradelli and the Max Defender 8 team. Live, this is News Channel 8 at 7 on your side.
All new drone video gives us a bird's eye view of just how bad Sarasota's street flooding has gotten, and tonight that water is still rising. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Lee. Thank you for joining us tonight. Jeff Patterson reports from the Laurel Meadows subdivision where neighbors are asking the county for immediate help. In parts of Sarasota's Pinecraft community, floodwaters are still too deep to allow residents to return to their homes. In the areas closest to the Philippi Creek, some homes are still several feet underwater. Families are standing by waiting for the water to recede so they can salvage whatever belongings and valuables they can. The Schrock family owns 2 homes along one of the hardest hit streets. They lost 3 cars and virtually everything they own.
Yeah, the emotions are all over. It was hard to grasp of losing everything.
Friends and neighbors have opened up their homes to those who lost everything. Sarasota County officials say the shelter at Suncoast Technical College is currently housing 31 residents and 19 pets. Let's get a check on your Max Defender 8 forecast right now with meteorologist Rebecca Berry. I'm hoping that our upcoming weather will at least help some of these communities dry out a little bit after this storm.
We've got the perfect weather for that, Jen, and part of it does have to do with what is still Tropical Storm Debbie. It's completely stalled out on the Carolina coast, and it's going to stay there for 3 days, and that leaves us in an onshore flow pattern, but far enough away from Debbie that we're not going to get much rain. And so Debbie will continue to make up for deluge raindrops along the Carolina coastline. The rain bands kind of run out of rain and then move out over the open Atlantic, very warm waters there, get recharged and dump that rain. And so imagine if it had taken 3 days for Debbie to pass us, how much rainfall we would have gotten from that. That's exactly what the Carolinas are facing. It doesn't really start to lift out until Friday. Then it's just a rainmaker across the Carolina coast. This is the next area to watch. It only has a 30% chance to develop, but I think this will end up as a rainmaker for Texas and Mexico. I don't think we have to worry about this one. And so we're still seeing the rain bands being pulled across the state, but we're getting bigger breaks in the rain. And since Debbie's sticking here and air goes counterclockwise around a high pressure system, we've got onshore winds that keep us mainly dry except for the morning hours and a little on the hot side. We'll take a look at those temperatures coming up next.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Now that the rain is gone, cleanup efforts are underway in Manatee County. Flooding forced people to evacuate their homes in parts of Lakewood Ranch. This is what it looks like there today. On Pine Lily Place, homeowners returned today to find the water has receded, but everything inside their homes is destroyed.
We are devastated. We are in shock. We don't have a home. My kids start school next week. We have no home. We cannot live here.
Many homeowners in this neighborhood do not have flood insurance because they say they do not live in a flood zone and they have never seen flooding before. It still looks like a river today on Lincoln Road in Bradenton. Longtime residents there say the storm was something they've never seen before. News Channel 8's Marilyn Parker shows us how cleanup efforts there are going. Tonight, a Clearwater police detective is facing charges accused of sharing police information with suspected drug dealers. Law enforcement leaders believe it could have put the lives of other officers at risk. News Channel 8's Alessandra Young has a story.
Frederick Lease decided to cross the line from being a law enforcement officer to being a criminal.
Last month, the sheriff's office arrested 13 people on drug trafficking charges, including suspects Matthew Turner and Henry Smith. At the time, Detective Frederick Lease was serving in Clearwater's narcotics unit. Investigators believe Detective Lease used his position to get alerts regarding any potential law enforcement action against Turner and Smith. They say
Well, Sarasota is buzzing with excitement tonight as they get ready to welcome a 2-time Olympic bronze medalist who trains in the area. Steven Netarasic made history in Paris, winning the first medal for Team USA's men's gymnastics in 16 years. News Channel 8's Lenny Supal joins us now live from the Sarasota Bradenton Airport tonight. Lenny, he is considered a specialist in one specific discipline. I said his name, but I lovingly call him Clark Kent as well. He was the Superman of the games.
That's exactly what people say. They call him the pommel horse guy because he's so good at it. His stunning performance wowing crowds on the Olympic stage. And tonight, many of his fans waiting and watching for his arrival. They are decorated with flags, balloons, and posters ready to greet him, a testament that dreams really do come true. He had a big dream of winning big at the Olympics, and he has done just that. We saw the cheers from his family over in Paris. Those cheers will resonate throughout the airport once again. And I will say that his performance also put Sarasota in the global spotlight, especially at Evo Gymnastics, where he has clocked countless hours to perfect his performance. And of course, all of that hard work has finally paid off, bringing home 2 bronze medals. And I will say he is quite humble. In many interviews, he has shared that he's just a regular guy who happens to be good at the pommel horse. So we will hear more from him. He's already hinting at his next chapter ahead. We'll have more on that and his unforgettable journey to Paris tonight at 11. Reporting live in Sarasota, Lenny Supal, 8 on your side.
Thank you so much, Lenny. We have some more good news for Team USA. The lead is growing both in terms of overall medals and gold medals. Take a look at the latest medal count. Here's Team USA at the top of the leaderboard, 86 total medals, including 24 golds. They surpassed China earlier this afternoon. A Belgian Olympian who swam in the Seine River for the triathlon has become ill and withdrawn from at least one event. It's not clear yet whether the river water was to blame, but sanitation concerns have surrounded the Seine leading up to the Olympics. It was a topic of discussion on What's Hot in Paris earlier today.
We have a couple scenarios where we have worked these out with the IOC, with the 2024 Paris group. And we don't want to, but we're willing to do it. Last case is that we'll end up doing both races at the rowing course on the 11th. I see people still putting out stuff like, oh, they don't have any plan B, they don't have any backup. Well, they didn't announce it for a long time. And whether that was political or not, you can judge for yourself.
Okay.
But the reality is, yes, they made a commitment to this city.
So much to unpack there. What's Hot in Paris features 3-time Olympic swimming gold medalist Brooke Bennett and gives an inside look into the Paris Games, streaming weekdays at 11 a.m. on WFLA.com, the WFLA app, and our Facebook page. You can go back and watch today's interview on our website, WFLA.com.
I'm 80 Your Side consumer investigator Shannon Bankin. If you drove through questionably high water during the storm, you may be wondering if you damaged your car. Well, I took that question to a mechanic to find out how much water is too much water.
Who's ready for some football? The Bucs are back. The moment is here. And this year, they've got big expectations. Let's do this. It all kicks off Saturday at 7 when the Bucs go to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals on the CW Tampa Bay. Let's start it up. Is this Bucs team ready to win its 4th consecutive NFC South title? Are you ready, Tampa Bay? Don't miss any of the action Saturday at 7 on the CW Tampa Bay.
Sponsored by Tampa General. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, report it by sending in your photos and videos. Scan the QR code or visit WFLA.com/report it. You're watching News Channel 8 at 7 with Jennifer Lee and meteorologist Rebecca Berry.
Debbie brought storm surge and flooding that was no match for some cars that ended up submerged. Other people drove through questionably high water, and they're now wondering whether they have damaged their vehicles. Well, 8 on Your Side consumer investigator Shannon Bankin has more on that story. After last month's global IT outage crashed millions of devices, CrowdStrike says Delta bears some of the blame for the flight cancellations that followed. That story is coming up. Plus, Google loses a landmark antitrust case that ties in with something you probably didn't even think about the last time you bought a new phone. We'll explain.
Here is your French word of the day.
Skateboarding is popular in both the U.S. and in France and is reaching a younger generation of athletes. So, Virgil, how do we say skateboarding in French?
In French, skateboarding is le skate.
Le skate.
Exactly.
Virgil, thank you. That's your French word of the day.
The French word of the day is brought to you by Mater Brothers Furniture and Design. Live your best Florida life.
Max Defender 8 Weather is sponsored by the personal injury law firm of Culpeper Kurland.
Stocks rebounded a bit today as financial markets regained their footing following Monday's major sell-off. The Dow regained 294 points after yesterday's rout. The S&P was up 54 and the Nasdaq climbed 167 points. CrowdStrike says it is not to blame for Delta's flight meltdown last month. The company says Delta turned down on-site help amid the global IT outage. Delta has estimated the cancellations cost the company $500 million and said it planned to seek damages from CrowdStrike and Microsoft. A federal judge ruled Google's search business is a monopoly, violating antitrust laws. The court found issue with Google paying huge amounts of money to make sure it is the default search engine on many devices, including the iPhone. Disney is raising prices for Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. The company says starting in October, most plans will cost $1 to $2 more a month. The most expensive plans for Hulu, which include live TV, will cost $6 more each month.
Max Defender 8, the most accurate weather radar in Florida.
Really nice to see some sunshine today, and we can expect more of the same, but it won't be completely dry. We've got clouds off in the distance, and we're sitting in the upper 80s right now over downtown Tampa. Debbie is moved into the Atlantic partially, and will sit in this general vicinity for about the next 3 days as it barely meanders up the coast, leaving us with the onshore flow and some drier air moving in, limiting but not eliminating our chances for rain. For the evening hours, we'll have a few clouds, not quite as breezy as it was last night, but still pretty nice evening winds. A few downpours when you wake up tomorrow morning, and that's one change that we see in our forecast with our westerly winds instead of the lighter winds that we've had for the summer. And so the morning chances for rain are a little higher, and then the showers start to taper off after your lunch hour. And so let's walk through your rain chances hour by hour so you're not caught off guard without your umbrella. Early tomorrow morning, we'll see some Nature Coast showers. This is 5 a.m. It'll be pretty breezy tomorrow, and then those showers become even more robust during the later morning hours, and now we're starting to see some pretty decent downpours over already flooded areas. So in between 9 and 11 a.m., I think Bradenton and Sarasota, Manatee, Sarasota counties will see some downpours to add insult to injury, and we will be quick to see temporary flooding since we're so saturated, but it won't be anything like what we have seen. It is once again just insult to end about 2 o'clock, and that leaves us with a really nice dry afternoon and evening, and we don't see chances for rain again until Thursday during the late morning hours. Another push of showers from the north to the south. This is how it looks around your lunch hour. This is how it looks by 4 o'clock, winding down and starting to dry out as this onshore flow pushes the showers over to the east coast. I should mention that the westerly winds keep us exceptionally warm and muggy overnight. Think about waking up in the mid 80s instead of the upper 70s, and that's what we're going to do for the next couple of days. Friday morning, early round of showers across the Nature Coast, starting to spread a little bit further inland during the afternoon hours. And so on again, off again periods of isolated rain on Friday, but generally much drier than we have been. And so those overnight lows, because of the onshore winds, mid 80s for our coastal areas, upper 70s and low 80s even for inland areas. So much higher than our normal low of 77 degrees, feeling extra muggy out there on Thursday and Friday morning. Here's how it looks on your 8-day forecast. Pretty breezy for the next 2 days. We're looking at westerly winds around 15 to 20 miles per hour, gusts between 20 and 25. That makes us a little drier. It makes our chances for rain a little earlier, sometimes in the morning. And it also makes for very warm overnight lows. Moving into Friday, we get rid of the gusts, but we stay in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range. And for the weekend, we're sticking to westerly winds. So we're waking up warm, generally drier forecast pattern, and also earlier chances for rain. It looks like Sunday will be the slightly wetter day of the weekend, and we start to see the westerly winds erode a little bit as we head into Tuesday. That's when we start to kick off our more normal chances for rain, those afternoon thunderstorms and evening thunderstorms that start to boil and then sit over us during the evening hours. So we are looking breezy and mostly dry into the afternoon hours through about Saturday and Sunday, and then we start to see those afternoon chances for rain firing back up. So enjoy the drier weather while it lasts, even though it comes with extra muggy mornings. That's a look at weather. We'll be right back.
Spending time with your family is one of the best parts about living here in Tampa Bay. And like you, keeping my family safe is a top concern. Weather in the Bay Area can change in an instant. Max Defender 8 radar is always on your side, watching out for you, keeping you and your family a step ahead of the storms. Whether it's a hurricane or our normal afternoon storm threats, keep your family safe and protected with Max Defender 8, the most accurate radar in Florida.
News Channel 8 at 7 is sponsored by ArmorView Window and Door. Trust the experts at ArmorView, the clearly stronger choice for you.
So grateful that we're going to be drying out for a couple of days for those folks that are still dealing with some floodwaters.
Just prepare yourself for the muggy morning. It's a trade-off.
It is a trade-off, but I know they could use some dry conditions. Thank you for joining us. The Olympic Zone with Paula and Josh is coming up next. I'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a great night.